Hey, gang. Week 9 roundup. Hope everybody's feeling good. Had a good week 9, ready for week 10. Hope you're enjoying the return of the stash, because it's Movember, bitches. And, life is good. So, let's start right into it. Tom popped some champagne as his jinxes worked, and his record winning streak of 9 straight games was maintained. Because, if you haven't heard, Barron, the worst team in the league at the time, beat me 82 to 103. Not a lot of excuses here, but both teams really stunk it up as they suffered with a lot of bye week problems. Barron had 4 players all on bye, while I had 3. Only 2 of my starters scored more than 15 points, and that left me without one starting running back, my starting quarterback, and injuries hampered the production of many of my starters. So that little mental breakdown aside, from the embarrassment of losing to Barron, I am now mentally prepared and ready to lose to Tom this week. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. The big difference maker for Barron, though, that earned him his second win was Andrew Luck and his 33 points. It was the second most points he has ever put up this season, with his best being 35, so not even far off of that. This was also bolstered by a season-high 23 points from DeAndre Hopkins, as only 3 of Barron's players broke the 15-point barrier. It wasn't a great day by either, but he was better. I can't say not. He beat me. So, congratulations, Barron. I am now 8-1, no longer undefeated. Jordan, however, lost his 4th straight game against a resurgent Adirondack Flying Squirrels led by Alex Sheckton, who won his second in a row, 123 to 120, a really close matchup. Sheckton really surged to victory on the back of Ben Roethlisberger, who broke NFL records for the second straight week by becoming the first ever quarterback to throw 12 touchdowns over 2 straight games. He also has Big Ben's favorite target, Antonio Brown, which helped kind of boost his score as well. But the combined 91 points between the 2 Steelers and tight end Jimmy Graham really papered over a lot of the cracks, as only 1 other player broke double digits on this team, and 5 of his players scored 6 points or less. On the other side of the coin, the injury to Nick Foles really hurt Jordan on a lot of levels. It's hard to imagine that Mark Sanchez will be nearly as productive for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was surely the reason why he lost this fantasy matchup, as his quarterback only scored 8 points, which is 9 less than his season average. There's not a lot of cause to rub salt in the wounds here on Porridge, so I would be pretty upset about it, and I guess the best left unsaid, the better. All right. Another close matchup saw Sharp beat Tom 131 to 129 in an important divisional matchup. There were no real standouts on Sharp's team, as all but 3 of his players scored more than 15 points, but none more than 24. The running backs have come around for Richard, as Mark Ingram and Ronnie Hillman were his best contributors with 24 points apiece. With Giovanni Bernard, the traitor motherfucker, coming back from injury, Randall Cobb and Martellus Bennett coming off of their byes, and Tony Romo probably nursing his way to health over the next couple weeks, this team is starting to look a little scary, and might be a team to look out for in the weeks coming up. Tom was a bit in bye week hell as well, leaving 3 players on the bench due to their week off. Still, this was a relatively strong performance considering that he had to start all backups in the wide receiver position. A stronger day from Peyton could have seen the job get done, but his stinker in Foxborough, Massachusetts really killed both the Broncos and our current reigning champ on the week. So not a lot of criticism on Tom's end, just one of those things. Score 129 points, you're going to look pretty good in most matchups, but just not that day. Brad continued on what is now the longest active winning streak in the league by winning his 5th straight and beating Chase 139 to 126. In what can only be described as a very frustrating season for Chase, he had to play Cam Newton at quarterback because of the bye weeks. As we know, Cam had an absolute shit show of a game on the Thursday night matchup, and it kind of caused Chase to suffer another narrow defeat. He only had 2 players score in single digits, but 4 of his players scored less than 15. So that's on top of the 2 in single digits. Julian Edelman was the star of the show, but the problem was Julian Edelman was catching passes from Tom Brady, which was the quarterback that Brad had, so it was never going to really pay off in the end. Brad couldn't muster another 200-plus point performance, but his stars did certainly rack up plenty of points on the day. Tom Brady, Jeremy Maclin, and Gronk all combined for 88 of Brad's points. Running back continues to be a bit of a feast or famine situation, as Jamal Charles put in another solid but kind of unimpressive 16-point performance, and DeMarco Murray, usually an absolute monster, put in a season-low 12-point shift. That said, all is looking pretty good for the Greg Connor household, as Brad could feasibly win the league championship and get married within 5 days this year. Just saying, it could happen. And finally, Z put a whacking on J-Ball, 140-45, earning him the beer of the week, which is this year Sharp's favorite beer, the Michelob Ultra. So Z, to you, my friend. Now, before we get on to Z's accomplishments, we have to talk about J-Ball's team. All but one of Jay's running backs were on bye this week. He only had one active running back. So I sympathize a bit, but on a certain level, that's not really an excuse for not setting a lineup. By not starting a single running back, the ball very soft offense was always going to be limp. It basically handed the victory to Zach, and then a negative 2-point showing from Phillip Rivers really just guaranteed it. That's all the analysis I have. Zach, on the other hand, wins this week's weekly beer, as stated before, with a respectable 140-point showing. Only 2 players scored in single digits across the whole team, and 5 players scored 15 or more. Marshawn Lynch looked back to his beast mode self. I don't know if you guys saw that today, but he ran through like 27 guys. That's not even possible because there's not even that many guys on the field, but he did it. I swear he did it. And he powered his way to 30 points and added a very nice cherry on top of Zach's fantastic performance. The complete lack of depth at running back, though, is a little bit concerning. As Alfred Morris heads into a bye week, Zach only has 1 running back that he can play next week and 2 spots to fill. Though there are enough elements on this team that he could make a trade if needed, but I suspect he'll probably look for the waiver wire pickup, and there's not a ton of talent there either. It's a major Achilles heel of this team that otherwise is relatively strong. As of right now, I am still the top team in the league, despite losing. But now I only have a 2-game lead over challengers Zach and Brad. Brad holds the number 2 seed and Z the number 3 due to tiebreakers that separate their 6-3 records. Jordan has slipped now to the 4 seed, and big brother Tom is now down to the number 5 due to the tiebreaker, because again, him and Porge have the same exact record. And Sharp's tie still gives him a half-game lead over Sheck for the number 6 and final seed. The Flying Squirrels are only a half game out of the playoffs, while Chase falls to 2 games back this week. J-Ball and Barron now cohabitate in the bottom of the league, 3 games back apiece. Buys continue next week, but we're almost out of the forest on that one. And the big news is that the trade deadline is November 12th. That is next Wednesday, exactly 1 week from today. The window will close at noon on Wednesday. I repeat, noon on Wednesday. That's 12:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get in the trades or forever hold your peace. We know how much this league has been a trade-happy league this year. Would hate for you guys to miss out on more of that fun. Till then, love you, bros. Peace.